Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric. And I thought I'd cover today why you'd want to build a grain mill as opposed to buying one. Now, I think, and I've gone over in a previous video, why I think it's valuable to have a grain mill. But there's plenty of options out there, or at least a handful, that compete with this one, that you can buy right off the shelf. Plunk down your cash, and you'll get it in the post in, I guess, a reasonable period of time. And I'll have some of the links for those in the show notes. They're really nice mills. I'm not knocking them. But what are the options here, and what are the advantages to building it yourself? I think for me, it's a trade-off between buying something and on the other side, having the tools and the skills to not only produce this, but produce more and other things. And for the cost of those grain mills, and they're valuable. I mean, it takes a bit of time to put into them, and they're largely produced in the West. It's higher cost environment. Their quality, they'll last a lifetime, but you pay for it. For that price, what you can do is purchase the materials necessary to build one. You can purchase the tools if you don't have them. And while you're building this, you can gain the skills to use those tools. And that's really valuable, having not only the mill at the end of it, but also a start of a really nicely equipped metalworking workshop and the skills to use it. This really does give you an opportunity to gain experience building tools, building something that you'll use and enjoy and take pride in. The other factor is the cost. If you already have some of the tools, and here we're primarily talking about a welder, and I go for a wire feed welder. You can buy those at Harbor Freight for around between 150 to 200 bucks. You can get an awesome welder. It'll do everything you need to do here, and it'll do your other projects. It's a great asset to have. So you look at that, you look at an angle grinder. Those are the primary tools. A handheld drill is the other one, and then a few small hand tools. So we're not talking big equipment here. You can plunk down the money for those, invest in the tools, purchase the materials, and build for equal or less than you would pay for one of those other high quality grain mills that would compare favorably with this one. At the end of it, you have those tools, you have the skills to use them, and if you want to produce more of these, well, you can produce them at a fraction of the cost of those other ones you'd buy, and you also have the advantage of building this one, so you can build your next ones faster, simpler, and cheaper. You won't make any of those mistakes. You can do a production line of sorts. It'll be much simpler. So if you intend to build more than one or want access to more than one, it makes sense to start building your own. If you already have some of the tools, this becomes a really economical project. Now, I know that some of you might be intimidated by the idea of going and building it, and that might make it purchasing a more attractive option, right? The book has been engineered in such a fashion that we walk you step by step through the process of producing this. While this may look complicated, really, it's just a bunch of sub-assemblies that in and of themselves are fairly simple. Now, there's some tricks and techniques that you can employ that will make production much simpler, and that's what we've tried to engineer into the design. It'll still produce it as well as those that come out of a commercial factory, but they would tend to use different methods, a lot more machine tools, probably CNC, maybe precision casting to produce a lot of their things. We'll lead you through in a way that's accessible to you, that's easy to master, and that leaves you with an awesome product, feeling confident in your skills for your next projects. So for this book, and for more information that aims to empower your independence, visit EnduringTechnologyPress.com. Thanks.